Folum Gaelic, learn Irish. Ceacht fiche a hain, lesson 21. Ainum Ocal, nouns. On Cade Declano, the first declension. There are 5 declensions or groups of nouns in Irish, which follow reasonably regular rules when forming cases such as plural, genitive, etc. In this lesson, I will confine my attention to the nouns in the first group or first declension. As well as the 5 declensions, there are many nouns which don't really belong to any declension at all. These are irregular nouns. Nouns in the first declension are masculine. They usually end in a broad consonant. What is a broad consonant? A broad consonant is one with A, O or U in front of it or around it. For example, D as in bod, a boat, N as in phone, a phone, R as in gasur, a boy. In the first declension, the plural of a noun is formed by changing broad consonants to slender consonants. A slender consonant is one with E or I in front of it or around it. For example, broad D in bod, a boat, becomes slender D in bawid, boats. Broad N in phone, a phone, becomes slender N in fawin, of phones. Broad R in gasur, a boy, becomes slender R in gasuir, boys. Very often the plural has other forms not quite so regular. For example, ul, an apple, becomes ulla, apples. Far, a man, becomes fir, men. Dun, a fort, becomes dunta, forts. And gael, a relative, becomes gaelfhear, relatives. In the first declension, the genitive singular of a noun is formed by changing broad consonants to slender consonants. A slender consonant is one with E or I in front of it. For example, broad D in bod, a boat, becomes slender D in bawid, of a boat. Broad N in phone, a phone, becomes slender N in fawin, of a phone. And broad R in gasur becomes slender R in gasuir, of a boy. Aspiration is done by adding H to the first letter of a noun. Aspiration usually occurs after the definite article on, meaning the, and is used to signify the genitive case or the dative case when a preposition such as are, meaning on, is used. For example, on bod, the boat. On wad, on the boat. On waid, of the boat or the boats. On gasur, the boy. On gasur, on the boy. On gasuir, of the boy or the boys. On phone, the phone. On the phone. On owen, of the phone or the phones. On turlar, the floor. On urlar, on the floor. On urlawid, of the floor or the floors. On madu, the dog. On wadu, on the dog. On wadi, of the dog. This grid will help to summarize the rules described previously. We have bod, bawid, bawid, bod. And this grid will help us also. We have, for example, Cavlach bod, a fleet of boats, and Far bawid, a boatman, or a man of a boat. Now, bod, a boat, becomes on bod, the boat, on wad, on the boat, on wawid, of the boat, na bawid, the boats, and na maud, of the boats. Gasur, a boy, becomes on gasur, the boy, on gasur, on the boy, on gasuir, of the boy, na gasuir, the boys, and na ngasur, of the boys. For cat, the cat, we have on cat, the cat, on cat, on the cat, on cowet, of the cat, na cowet, the cats, and nagat, of the cats. Madu, the dog, we have on Madu, the dog, on Wadu, on the dog, on Wadi, of the dog, Namadi, the dogs, Namadu, of the dogs. For on board, we have on board, the table, on wood, on the table, on wood, of the table, naboid, the tables, and namod, of the tables. For erlar, floor, we have on turlar, the floor, on erlar, on the floor, on erlower, of the floor, na erlower, the floors, and na nurlar, of the floors. For taru, a bow, we have on taru, the bow, on taru, on the bow, on tarif, of the bow, na tarif, the bows, and na daru, of the bows. Shin jira le ceacht fiche a hain. That's the end of lesson 21. Tog kubogay, take it easy. Eo la jas ugat, have a nice day. Slan ogus bannacht, health and blessing. Folum gaelg le gaelar, learn Irish with gaelar.